This series so far has been all about cup runs. We wouldn't be where we are now if it hadn't been for several cup runs that have really boosted our finances and reputation. And today we have the opportunity to make it to the FA Cup third round for the first time in our history, I think. Hello and welcome to part 29 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have the FA Cup second round game at home against Gateshead, which I suspect will be a record attendance for us, a highest gate receipts for us, and also a golden opportunity for a chance in the FA Cup third round. We're then away against Blyth Spartans in the league. Since you were last with me, this is what's been happening. We have rediscovered our form of old, and we've started playing like the home we all know and love again, although we did have that defeat against Chester, second place Chester, which if we'd have won that, we'd have gone top of the league. As it is, Chester just kept us down in joint second place, I think we are at the moment. But most of this run has been spent using the 4-2-3-1 that we looked at in the last episode. If we have a little look at it, this is the sort of thing that we're doing. Stanley, Ianolo and Clark with Powell playing as an advance forward in front of them, and some combination of the 4 or 5 good central midfielders that we've got playing behind them. We're actually departing from that slightly today. 2 reasons. Firstly, Gateshead are the league above. We want to go back to a system that we know works against better teams than us for today. So we're going back to the 4-3-3. But also, Clark, who's been so important on that left-hand side, is injured or suspended. He's certainly not available. I forget why. Hold on. Let's have a little look. I picked this team last night and now I don't. There you go, he's injured. So Clark is going to be out for the next 3 weeks or so. So Ianolo is just going to move over to that left wing where he's quite comfortable playing. He's been excellent since he's been in the side, mainly playing as the attacking midfielder, but he can play just as easily out there. And it just allows us to slot back into this more familiar shape. There have been a couple more signings. I promise I'm done now. It was a couple more loans. Ryan Broom comes in to give us some backup to Stanley on the right hand side, so we've now got solid wingers on both sides and multiple options for each. And we've also brought in another central midfielder, Matty Wolf, just because he's a bit more attack minded than what we had in there as options at the moment. For when we play this system more than anything, he's going to push forward. You wouldn't know it from that entire season. He played for Barrow last year and didn't get a goal or okay, 6 assists, but was fairly rubbish. But he's not cost us anything to bring in. We're not paying any wages. And I think for situations like this, it's quite handy to be able to have him in there, pushing on a bit more attack-minded. And we really are done with transfers now. We're maxed out on our wage budget. We don't need to bring in anyone else unless we find someone absolutely spectacular. And we do have to sell to buy now. So that's it. Transfers done for the season. Watch me announce another 4 or 5 new players next episode. But transfers are done. So, team talk-wise, let's passionately say... See, this is suggesting that our reputation is higher than Gateshead's in the league above. I still don't understand it, because I've said this a few times. When we set this team up, our reputation was roughly mid-table for the league that we were in at the time, the Northern Premier League Division 1 East. We were a roughly mid-table reputation team. But it seems that these cup runs that we've had have really given our reputation a boost. So let's, I mean, if that's what we should be saying, let's say we should be winning this game. They don't care. They don't care about the individual team talks either. Let's hope we can still go and win the game. How full is Kiln Park? In the previous round in this competition, we did go to a replay and we had 1,500 people here at Kiln Park. 1,000 of them were home fans. We've never had 1,000 home fans at a match, not at Wembley, before. So I'm hoping we have even more of the home faithful in Kiln Park today, and to see us make our way into the FA Cup third round. Mick Powell has just scored an absolute screamer. He is a new man playing as an advance forward. We played him as a poacher for so long, which, to be fair, the game was telling me was his best position. And he's done a Mick Powell and has now adjusted, and he's just as good at advance forward as he is at poacher, which he wasn't before. So he has made some adjustments, some improvements. But I think the advance forward role suits being a lone striker much better than being a poacher. I'd always want a poacher alongside another striker, similar to how we had Powell and Harris together when Harris was still at the club. But if he's going to be on his own, he's much better off as an advance forward, and he's showing it with a massive increase in quality of his performances, which has meant that even with Levi Cotton injured, we still haven't had a look at Hardy, who we were talking about in the last episode, who theoretically is almost as good as Mick Powell, but we haven't had the opportunity to see him yet because Powell has been in solid form for the last 6, 7, 8 games while he's been playing as an advanced forward. Right, let's don't get complacent. Absolutely don't want to get complacent. Keep doing what you're doing, gentlemen. This is 1 foot into the FA Cup third round and a potential huge. I mean, we're looking for a away game against a big Premier League team. We want a £500,000 payday that clears our overdraft. That's contrary to popular belief, isn't because of my fancy buying lots of players policy. It's still just buying the ground. Buying the ground is what cost us all the money. If it hadn't been for that, we'd still be operating in the black, roughly, because I am keeping within the budgets. Oh my word, what's Pozo just done? Oh, that was terrifying. But a nice cup run now, if we can hold on in this game, a nice cup run could go a long way towards getting us back in the black, even with bringing in the new ground. But we need to be a little bit alert to stuff like that. We've got Vaughan playing out at left back today, which he hasn't done very often, but my assistant manager tells me that Vaughan and what's his face, the guy who normally plays there with the long name, Critchlow Noble, is that it? I don't know the names of my own players. They're roughly equivalent, and Vaughan is a better defender, so that's why he's in today. It might be that we'd be better off with someone who's a bit better attacking. He doesn't really suit the wing-back role, so perhaps that was a bit of a mistake. Matty Wolf is injured on his debut with a thigh injury, so we're going to take him off. He's played very well, but we're going to take him off and we're going to bring on Benson in that midfield. Slightly less attacking option, but they're both going to be very mobile in there as a box-to-box midfielder and a Mazzala. And we're going to take off Connor Stanley and have a first look at new boy Ryan Broom, who's been brought on exactly for this scenario. When Stanley's not playing well, we bring Broom on and just show Stanley that there are other options at the club, which we've not really had before, and hopefully Broom can be just as good as Stanley has been, although Stanley's form has been poor recently. Wolf now to Ian Olo with his 4th goal of the season. Ian Dolo, not Ian Olo, Ian Dolo. I've been calling him Ian Olo in my head all this time, but he has been the main driving force behind the change in our form in the last 6 games or so. He has been incredible, and now showing that he can do a job out on the left wing just as well as he can as an attacking midfielder. So we've just got a proper player on our hands there in the shape of Ian Dolo. Right, 2-0 up, 20 minutes to go. I'm thinking in terms of another change. I want to show you my 6'8" centre-back that I signed. This guy, Matt Casey, 6'8". I wanted a 6'8" defender because the idea of it amused me. I don't know that he's any good, but it's quite fun to be able to have him for corners. So I think should I show you him, or should we have a look at Joe Hardy? Or in fact, we'll be sensible. We'll bring Buckley on for Hornshaw, and we'll just go back to the old faithful of Benson and Buckley in midfield, and remember that we're playing in an FA Cup second round game. I don't want to show you my new toys. I want to win the match. So let's make the most sensible substitution. Oh, being a grown-up's rubbish. Right, Ian Olo, back to Pozo. Buckley plays it forward, aiming for Benson, I think, but it made it all the way through to Powell. Buckley again. The big thing as well about Mick Powell's new lease of life as an advanced forward is he's actually playing the full 90 minutes again, which he hasn't done for most of the last year. He comes off after an hour or 70 minutes. For a long time, he wasn't playing the whole match. But now we're just leaving him on because he's playing well. Right, passionate. We are very pleased. And now we have all the fun of the FA Cup third round draw. And we're hoping we want away against Manchester United or something like that would be phenomenal. It would change our lives, or at least very much change our bank balance. But I mean, this one might have done the same sort of thing as it mentioned. So we got £56,000 just for winning the match, and then presumably a big bunch of money for the attendance. Well, I mean, that has almost cleared our debt. Just in and of itself, we must have made a huge amount of money from gate receipts in that game. We will, as soon as that notification comes up, I will show you it, and we'll obviously do the FA Cup third round draw in a sec as well. Well, it seems that we didn't actually break any records against Gateshead. What was it? Oh, actually, the attendance was lower than it was for the York game. In fact, it wasn't even in the first round. It was in the 4th qualifying game. That's when we did our record attendance. But if we have a look at income for this month, so obviously we've taken a big bunch of prize money, but gate receipts. So last season we made £200,000 in gate receipts. This season, we've already made nearly that already. We need a big game now. Oh, we want a big game. Right, let's just get the draw underway. We want a big Premier League team away from home. Or, if we can't have that, just one we want a LOLLUJO derby. We want some romance. That would be fun. Beating Nuneaton to get into the 4th round would be super fun. Ipswich would have been fun as a LOLLUJO derby. Right. Come on, we want a big Premier League team at home. Oh, that would be delicious. A massive local derby. It's a good game for Posh though. Right. We're at home. Right. If we're at home, we want someone who can beat and get into the 4th round to get the big money tie. So we're going to be playing at home against Arsenal. Why couldn't we just play it at their place? You've never seen me play for a draw before. We want to get. I mean, if I know we're not going to, but imagine if we could force a replay and get all that money from the Emirates. Is there no way to just suggest we play it at their place because we don't have a ground? No, not automatic draw. Draw all teams. There must be a button. There must be a button where we can switch it. Home have been drawn as the home team. We don't want to be the home team. We want to swap. If we played it at the Emirates, it would change our lives. I don't think we're going to get the option, are we? Right, we're going back to the 4-2-3-1 for the Blyth game then. They're a bottom half team. We should be able to just overpower them with awesomeness. That's the plan. And we've made a couple of changes at the back, or one change at the back. We've moved Collie down to the bench, just mainly because fitness more than anything. He was the obvious one to move down. Critchlow Noble does come back in. Vaughan moves over into the middle. We're going with Hornshaw and Pozo in the centre of midfield. And then a 3 of Cottrell, Ianolo and Stanley in behind Mick Powell. I don't think I've shown you the 4-2-3-1 from the start of the game before. We were just experimenting with it yesterday. So we want to have a look at it, or I want you to have a look at it from the start to show just how good it can be at times. So carry on where you finished last match. Get out there and be awesome. I think this is also the first time I've shown you the 3rd choice kit in the match engine as well. As you can see, it looks beautiful in real life. It doesn't represent very well in game. If anyone knows how to make 3D kits for FM19, feel free to take the kits that we've got and make us some 3D ones and let me know how to put them in game. It's not something I've ever known how to do, but as you can see, that one doesn't really represent very well in the ones I was able to pick when I was setting up the team. So I would love some 3D kits if anyone's got the mad skills to be able to do that. The first couple look okay, but this one doesn't look anything like the actual kit when we have it in the match engine. And we've just gone 1-0 down. And if we end up losing with the 4-2-3-1 after beating a team from the division above with the 4-3-3, you're all going to tell me I'm silly. I promise you, that run of good form we've been on, it was with this system all the way through, and we switched back to the 4-3-3 just for one game. Blyth are a team we should be capable of beating. I think we're confused because everyone's wearing stripes, even though we're not wearing stripes. We're wearing the awesome 3rd choice kit. Right, we need to get ourselves back into this. Show some... No, not concentrate. I was trying to get them to show some passion, but I've motivated them by telling them to concentrate. Perhaps that's all they needed. Pozo with the big 3 kick forward, and it doesn't get anywhere near. I think it was Stanley, the number 11, that it was aiming for, but it wasn't a very good free kick. Pozo across to Hornshaw. Hornshaw plays Cottrell in behind, and we've got Powell and Iandolo in the middle, and it's Powell, and it's back off the crossbar, and Connor Stanley tucks it away for his 9th for the season. It was Powell off the crossbar. Stanley's there to knock it in as well. Iandolo's also in the middle. And I love this front 4 when they all get up and running and moving. And Cottrell's been out of the team for a little while. With the emergence of Clark as an inside forward on that side, Cottrell's probably a little bit hard done by to lose his place, but he's come back in today. And there you go. It's proving that he's still a very good winger. Still very young as well. He still has time to re-emerge as a first-team player. So I'm not that worried that we've had to give him a little bit of time out of the team, and he showed there that once he's back in, he's still a massive, massive threat. They've got Alfie Raw, who I think we had for St Albans and non-league to legend this year. There we go. If I remember, he can play everywhere in midfield, and that's why I signed him, because I love a utility man. Right, assertive. We've not been very good. Which one's... Yeah, I'm not happy. We should be ahead in this game. And I'm not averse to switching back to the 4-3-3 if it looks like we're not going to pull away and win this game. But Stanley's coming down the right-hand side and he's tackled. We get the throw in and we don't get a highlight from it. So it's one of those that I probably shouldn't even have commentated on. It was just a thing that was happening at the start of the second half and nothing more. But now we do have a proper highlight, and it's Blyth just knocking the ball around in the middle, controlling the middle of the pitch, which I guess this is the sacrifice we make when we play just the two men in there. We are going to be left a little bit exposed in there from time to time. But that was a beautiful pass from Cottrell and a lovely finish from Mick Powell. That goal was a thing of beauty. Cottrell is taking his opportunity back in the team with both hands, because he's made both goals, one with a run and one with a beauty of a pass. And Mick Powell showing again that he was never a poacher. He's been an advanced forward all along. He's done a Mick Powell again, everybody. And I think last time I checked, he was top scorer in the division as well. So Mick Powell, not only are we potentially got a back-to-back-to-back on, but Mick Powell has been the best player in the last three divisions he's played in, and I don't understand how he keeps doing it. I don't understand why we've still got him. When you see Dean Morris playing for Rangers and Anthony Harris playing in the Championship for Norwich, how is Mick Powell still here? Why has nobody came in and made an offer for him? Right, we're going to take off Pozo, bring on Matty Wolf. I mean, he doesn't... I don't want to play him as the attacking... We talked about him in the last match as being super attacking. I probably should have had Buckley or Benson on the bench to come on. They'd have been a much better fit for that position. Cottrell on a yellow card. I mean, according to that, he's not playing well. We've all been watching. We know he's playing well. I think we're just going to leave it there for now. Just make the one change. I don't think we need to do anything too excessive, unless Blyth look like they're going to make their way back into the game. But we are fully in control. We just need another goal. Right, we're going to bring Broom on again for Stanley, and I might even bring Hardy on for Powell. If we can score again, I'll bring Hardy on for Powell so we can have a look at Hardy. But I don't think we're going to see him, are we? Because it looks like, I mean, Blyth are on the attack. Oh no, get the ball away. Mail collects nicely. Is it going to be a counter-attack? A counter-attack goal here would be a delight. It's a weird highlight if we don't go up and score from it, because it was a nothing chance for Blyth unless they're going to score from this one. Ball all the way back to their keeper. Cleared again. It's the 86th minute. It's not like we're timing out the game here. What is this highlight? I don't understand. It's one of these bizarre long ones where we're seeing nothing happen. Ian Dolo out to Cottrell. Cottrell, is he going to make a third goal? That is another stunning pass from Ben Cottrell and another goal for Mick Powell. The match engine does not give credit where it's due when it comes to player ratings, because Cottrell has been outstanding today and is only on like a 7.1. But that was another beautiful pass and another lovely finish from Mick Powell. And I promised you that we'd have a look at Hardy. So we'll have a look at Hardy. I've got to pause the game. We're going to get him for 2 minutes. There you go. Joe Hardy can come on for Mick Powell. And we might get the opportunity to see if he's any good. I mean, he's got a beard. So having a beard has got to be a good thing. But we're not actually going to see him in the game at all, are we? Because the game is over. And we've won comfortably, despite the early scare. Once we got ahead, it was never in doubt at all. Well done. Good win. Puts us still within touching distance of Wrexham, who we are playing next, but it's only in the FA Trophy, so I'm not going to show you that one. We'll have a quick look at the league table, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to be back for the Arsenal game as the next episode. I don't think there's anything else juicy before then. We've got to get to Arsenal tomorrow, surely, and try and play for that replay. Oh, imagine if we get a replay. So we currently sit 6 points behind Wrexham. I don't think we play them in the league before the Arsenal game. No, in fact, there you go. We'll do Arsenal and Nuneaton on the next episode. What more could you possibly want? Oh, should we dream a little? Should we dream of the replay and all the money that would come with it? Oh, imagine. Right, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.